San Diego Comic-Con is a wonderful place where dreams come true, unless you're a fan of The Walking Dead and have had your heart smashed to a million pieces by the confirmed departure of Andrew Lincoln. But we digress. It can also be an exhausting place, whether you're actually there covering some serious football, or at home, most likely glued to social media awaiting all the latest news. Well, never fear, your mates at NME have done you a solid and picked out a bite-sized taster of the best new offerings. We didn't make popcorn, mind. Don't be greedy. The Walking Dead will rumble on without Rick Geekometer. 7/10, the new series of AMC's long-running zombie apocalypse show, we're now on 9, quite remarkably, arrives on October the 7th carrying a weight of expectation. The general consensus is that 8 was poor, and, according to Nielsen Live same-day data, its mid-season premiere drew a 3.6 rating in adults 18 to 49 and 8.3 million viewers. That's the lowest-rated mid-season premiere to date. Still, there remains a sizable and avid fandom. The news Rick Grimes is leaving at some point during the has hit the community hard, but if you've come this far, are you really going to bail out now? Godzilla, King of the Monsters will have more of the big fella, an 11 Geekometer, 9/10 again, a franchise that really needs to deliver. 2014's Gareth Edwards directed series reboot Godzilla was an uneven movie, with poor dialogue and nowhere near enough screen time for the big green fella. This time round, Michael Dougherty, writer, director of the fun horror comedy Krampus is the big cheese. And speaking of big, the sequel features Kaiju legends King Ghidorah, Mothra and Rodan, as well as the titular anti-hero. In this case, more is definitely more. Night Flyers is the new one from Thrones man George R.R. Martin. Geekometer, 8/10. So apparently George R.R. Martin has written other books, ones not about dragons. No, we knew this, and in fact, are fans of the 1987 film adaptation of G.R.R.'s 1980 novella. But we're well up for this forthcoming Netflix adaptation, which looks like the kind of messed up space horror that will salivate us until someone remembers how to make a good alien movie again. In space, no one can hear you. DC's Titans is gonna be dark AF. Geekometer, 10 out of 10. If you've ever found yourself watching Teen Titans Go on the Cartoon Network, you'll know it's a very funny, very cute, very kid-friendly take on the DC Comics series, which first debuted as far back as 1964. Well, ignore everything you know about that, because DC's forthcoming live-action series, simply titled Titans, is brutal. There's broken bones, generous splashes of crimson, and within about a minute of the trailer starting, Robin growls "fuck Batman" and murders a load of wrong UNS. If that kind of grit doesn't distinguish this series from the cartoons that came prior, and it does, as well as Raven, Starfire, and Beast Boy featuring Dove Turns Up, and SHES only ever been in the comics. Geekometer, 7/10. Yeah, we got to see the new Screwdriver, and somewhat excitingly, it appears Jodie Whittaker is planning to play her role as the 13th Doctor as a sort of Time Lord take on the late Victoria Wood. But the big reveal is that it seems an episode of The New Who will be exploring the US civil rights movement. In the new trailer, you can just about make out the words Montgomery Motor Trailer, Montgomery being the US city where Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat on the bus to a white passenger in 1955. Fitting subject matter for the most inclusive cast and crew Doctor Who has seen yet. Night Shyamalan's Glass might actually be okay. Geekometer, 8/10. After 2015's excellent low-budget horror The Visit and 2016's hugely successful Split, the words from M. Night Shyamalan have stopped feeling like so much of a threat and more of a promise again, and so expectation is high for the 47-year-old Twistmeister's new film, Glass. Shyamalan has raided his back catalogue to reunite James McAvoy's The Beast from Split and Bruce Willis' David Dunn, and Samuel L. Jackson's Mr. Glass from 2000's Unbreakable. We're getting strong Watchmen vibes. American Horror Story stalwart Sarah Paulson also stars. Star Wars: The Clone Wars will finally be resolved. Geekometer, 9/10. A huge surprise this one. And so many unanswered questions. Not since 2013 have we heard anything from the brilliant Star Wars animated series, and, with 6 ending with a vague not at all satisfactory semi-cliffhanger, we're finally going to get some resolution when the series comes to Disney's as yet untitled viewing service in 2019. Oh, and this is cool, it appears Anakin Skywalker's apprentice Ahsoka Tano is back. That can only mean much cosmic badassery. The new Spider-Man game looks set to be pretty great. Geekometer 6/10 with the possible exception of Red Dead Redemption 2 and The Last of Us 2, and really, it depends whether you like web-slinging, brain-bursting a lasso, throwing. No video game is as feverishly anticipated as Insomniac Games' forthcoming Spider-Man title, due September 7th. Comic-Con did reveal that the tweener character Silver Sable will appear, while the list of villains featured is starting to appear pretty exhaustive. Mr. Negative, Kingpin, Shocker, Electro, Rhino, Scorpion, Taskmaster, and we swear we saw the briefest of cameos from Vulture in there too. Not long to wait now. Johnny Depp is going method for Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. Geekometer 7/10 though this film's Comic-Con panel saw a host of the forthcoming features stars, Eddie Redmayne, Jude Law and Ezra Miller. All eyes were on Johnny Depp, who plays the titular Gellert Grindelwald. Depp's inclusion in the ongoing Harry Potter spin-off has proved so controversial, owing to the actor's alleged domestic violence, that J.K. Rowling issued a statement last December, defending his involvement. Depp didn't attend the panel discussion, and instead showed up at the end of the presentation dressed in character. He said, "The great gift of your applause is not for me but for yourselves," he said, waving his wand. "Magic blooms only in rare souls. It is granted to those who live for higher purposes. What a world we would make for all of humanity. We, who live for freedom, for truth. The moment has come to rise up and take our rightful place in the world." The lights went out and he exited. There's a Shazam film. You know, Shazam. Geekometer 8/10 yeah, it's a DC Extended Universe production, but hold your speeding bullets. This, the 7th movie in the sometimes wretched series, actually looks pretty good. Shazam is a pretty niche character within DC Comics lore. This will actually be the first appearance of the character, a teenage boy who can turn into an adult superhero via the utterance of the magic word in the title, on film, since the 1941 serial The Adventures of Captain Marvel. Zachary Levi stars. We like him.